Hummingbirds. Nature's aerial acrobats. In the vast tapestry of avian life, few creatures capture the imagination quite like hummingbirds. These diminutive dynamos, weighing no more than a penny yet possessing the aerial prowess of miniature fighter jets, represent one of nature's most extraordinary evolutionary achievements. With their iridescent plumage catching sunlight like living jewels and wings beating so rapidly they become invisible blurs, hummingbirds embody the perfect fusion of beauty and biological engineering. Found exclusively in the Americas, from the frigid peaks of the Andes to the lush rainforests of Central America and the suburban gardens of North America, hummingbirds have conquered diverse ecological niches through remarkable adaptations. Their story is one of evolutionary innovation, ecological specialization, and the delicate balance between energy expenditure and survival in some of the world's most demanding environments. The marvel of miniaturization. Hummingbirds represent the ultimate expression of avian miniaturization. The smallest bird in the world, the bee hummingbird of Cuba, measures barely 2 inches from bill to tail and weighs less than 2 grams. Even the largest hummingbird species, the giant hummingbird of South America, reaches only about 8 inches in length. This extreme downsizing has necessitated extraordinary physiological adaptations that challenge our understanding of vertebrate biology. The metabolic demands of maintaining such a small body size are staggering. Hummingbirds possess the highest metabolic rate of any warm-blooded vertebrate, with heart rates that can exceed 1,200 beats per minute during flight. Their rapid breathing rate, sometimes reaching 250 breaths per minute, ensures adequate oxygen delivery to hyperactive tissues. To fuel this biological furnace, hummingbirds must consume approximately half their body weight in nectar daily, supplemented by small insects and spiders for essential proteins and fats. Temperature regulation poses another significant challenge for these tiny birds. Their high surface area to volume ratio makes them vulnerable to rapid heat loss, particularly during cool nights or at high altitudes. Many species have evolved the remarkable ability to enter torpor, a hibernation-like state where their metabolic rate drops by up to 95%, their body temperature plummets, and their heart rate slows to as few as 50 beats per minute. This energy-saving strategy allows them to survive periods when food is scarce or environmental conditions are harsh. Masters of flight. The flight capabilities of hummingbirds are unparalleled in the avian world. Their wings, which beat at frequencies ranging from 20 to 80 times per second depending on the species, create a unique figure-8 pattern that generates lift on both the upstroke and downstroke. This extraordinary wing motion enables hummingbirds to hover with pinpoint precision, fly backwards, sideways, and even upside down for brief periods. The anatomical adaptations supporting this aerial virtuosity are remarkable. Hummingbird flight muscles comprise up to 30% of their total body weight, compared to just 15 to 20% in most other birds. Their wing structure is also unique, with bones that are hollow yet incredibly strong, and shoulder joints that allow nearly 180 degrees of rotation. The rapid wingbeats are powered by specialized flight muscles with an extraordinarily high density of mitochondria, the cellular powerhouses that convert sugar into usable energy. During courtship displays, male hummingbirds push their flight capabilities to spectacular extremes. Anna's hummingbirds, for instance, can achieve diving speeds exceeding 60 miles per hour, pulling out of their spectacular plunges at forces that would render a human pilot unconscious. These aerial acrobatics serve to attract females and establish territorial dominance, demonstrating the male's fitness and genetic quality. Ecological specialists. Hummingbirds have evolved into highly specialized nectar feeders, developing intricate relationships with flowering plants that benefit both partners. Their long, needle-like bills and extensible tongues allow them to access nectar deep within tubular flowers, while their hovering ability enables them to feed without landing. Different species have evolved bills of varying lengths and curvatures to match specific flower types, creating remarkable examples of coevolution. The relationship between hummingbirds and their preferred flowers often demonstrates exquisite adaptation. Many plants have evolved to bloom when hummingbirds are most active, producing flowers with red or orange coloration that attracts these birds while being less visible to competing insects. The flowers typically lack fragrance, as hummingbirds have a poor sense of smell but excellent color vision, and they often have a tubular shape that matches the length and curvature of their avian partners' bills. While nectar provides the primary fuel for their high-energy lifestyle, hummingbirds also consume significant quantities of small arthropods. Protein from insects and spiders is essential for muscle development, feather production, and reproduction. Many species employ sophisticated hunting techniques, hawking tiny gnats and mosquitoes from the air or gleaning aphids and other soft-bodied insects from leaves and bark. Diversity across the Americas. The family Trochilidae encompasses over 350 species of hummingbirds, making it the second-largest bird family in the Western Hemisphere. This remarkable diversity is most pronounced in the tropical regions of South America, particularly in the cloud forests of the Andes, where elevation gradients create numerous microhabitats and ecological niches. Each species has evolved unique characteristics suited to its particular environment. The sword-billed hummingbird of South America possesses the longest bill relative to body size of any bird, allowing it to feed from flowers with exceptionally deep corollas. In contrast, the purple-crowned fairy has a relatively short, slightly curved bill adapted for feeding from a broader range of flower types. Some species, like the marvelous spatuletail of Peru, have evolved elaborate tail ornaments that play crucial roles in courtship displays, while others have developed specialized feeding behaviors or habitat preferences. The geographic distribution of hummingbirds reflects both their evolutionary history and ecological requirements. The greatest species diversity occurs near the equator, with diversity generally decreasing toward the poles. North America hosts about 25 regular hummingbird species, with a ruby-throated hummingbird being the only species that regularly breeds east of the Great Plains. The western United States supports a much greater diversity, including Anna's hummingbird, Allen's hummingbird, and the broad-tailed hummingbird, among others. Migration marvels. Several hummingbird species undertake extraordinary migrations that seem almost impossible given their diminutive size. The ruby-throated hummingbird performs one of the most remarkable journeys in the bird world, with some individuals flying non-stop across the Gulf of Mexico, a distance of over 500 miles. Weighing only 3 to 4 grams, these tiny migrants must double their body weight with fat reserves before attempting this perilous crossing. The rufous hummingbird holds the record for the longest migration route relative to body size of any bird, traveling up to 3,900 miles between its breeding grounds in Alaska and wintering areas in Mexico. These migrations are precisely timed to coincide with the blooming of flowers along their route, creating a temporal map of nectar availability that the birds navigate with remarkable accuracy. Migration timing is critical for hummingbird survival. Early arrival on breeding grounds allows birds to establish the best territories but risks encountering late spring storms or insufficient food resources. Late departure from wintering grounds may result in missed breeding opportunities or inadequate fat reserves for the journey north. Climate change is increasingly disrupting these finely tuned temporal relationships, with potentially serious consequences for migratory species. Reproduction and life cycle. Hummingbird reproduction reflects the intense energy demands of their lifestyle. Most species are polygamous, with males establishing territories around rich nectar sources and attracting multiple females through elaborate courtship displays. These displays often involve spectacular aerial maneuvers, with males diving, climbing, and performing intricate flight patterns while producing various sounds with their wings and specialized tail feathers. Female hummingbirds bear the entire responsibility for nest construction, incubation, and chick rearing. Their nests are architectural marvels, typically constructed from plant fibers, spider silk, and lichens, and bound together with sticky spider webs. The elastic properties of spider silk allow the nest to expand as the chicks grow, while the camouflage provided by lichens helps protect the nest from predators. Hummingbird eggs are among the smallest laid by any bird, typically measuring less than half an inch in length. Most species lay 2 white eggs, which the female incubates for 14 to 19 days while maintaining the precise temperature necessary for proper development. The tiny chicks hatch naked and helpless, requiring constant feeding and brooding for several weeks before fledging. Conservation challenges. Despite their remarkable adaptations, many hummingbird species face significant conservation challenges. Habitat loss poses the greatest threat, particularly in tropical regions where deforestation and agricultural expansion continue at alarming rates. The specialized relationships between hummingbirds and their preferred flowers make them particularly vulnerable to environmental changes that affect plant communities. Climate change presents additional challenges, potentially disrupting the carefully synchronized relationships between hummingbirds and their food sources. Shifting precipitation patterns, altered flowering times, and changing temperature regimes could decouple the timing of migration, breeding, and peak nectar availability. Mountain species may be particularly vulnerable, as they may have limited options for shifting their ranges upslope in response to warming temperatures. Several hummingbird species are already considered threatened or endangered. The short-crested coquette has not been reliably observed since the 1960s and may be extinct, while species like the Juan Fernandez firecrown and the Esmeralda's woodstar have extremely restricted ranges that make them vulnerable to local environmental changes. Cultural significance and human connections. Throughout the Americas, hummingbirds hold special places in human cultures and mythologies. Ancient Aztec and Maya civilizations associated hummingbirds with their gods of war and the sun, believing these tiny birds carried the souls of fallen warriors. Modern indigenous communities continue to view hummingbirds as symbols of resilience, joy, and the delicate balance of nature. In contemporary society, hummingbirds have become beloved backyard visitors, inspiring millions of people to maintain flower gardens and nectar feeders. This connection has created a vast community of citizen scientists who contribute valuable data on hummingbird populations, migration timing, and distribution changes. Banding programs and citizen science projects like eBird have generated unprecedented insights into hummingbird biology and conservation needs. The economic impact of hummingbird watching and photography has grown substantially, supporting ecotourism industries in many regions. Countries like Costa Rica and Ecuador have capitalized on their exceptional hummingbird diversity to attract nature tourists from around the world, providing economic incentives for habitat conservation. Future perspectives. As we advance further into the 21st century, hummingbirds continue to inspire scientific research and conservation efforts. New technologies are revealing previously unknown aspects of their biology, from the precise mechanics of their flight to the genetic basis of their remarkable physiological adaptations. High-speed cameras and wind tunnel studies are providing insights into the aerodynamics of hovering flight, while genetic analyses are illuminating the evolutionary relationships among species and populations. Conservation efforts are becoming increasingly sophisticated, incorporating climate modeling, habitat connectivity analyses, and community-based conservation strategies. Creating corridors of suitable habitat along migration routes, protecting critical breeding and wintering areas, and maintaining the diverse plant communities that support hummingbird populations will be essential for ensuring their survival in an increasingly human-modified world. Hummingbirds represent far more than just beautiful birds. They are indicators of ecosystem health, pollinators of countless plant species, and living reminders of the incredible diversity and adaptability of life on Earth. Their continued presence in our skies depends on our commitment to understanding, protecting, and celebrating the remarkable natural world they inhabit. As we watch these aerial jewels dart through our gardens and wild spaces, we are witnessing millions of years of evolutionary refinement in action, a testament to the enduring power of nature to inspire wonder and drive the endless quest for knowledge about the living world around us.